right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us in this video. This is 10:20 p.m. Nigerian time. Good evening, everyone. Today is Friday, the 25th day of July, 2025. What is going on in Imo State? The terrorist attack in Imo State is part of the topic we are going to discuss in this video. As usual, if you are just joining us for the first time, this is a public opinion platform where we allow everyone to contribute or share his or her own opinion with us about the issue that we are discussing. By the way, before we go into the main details of today's broadcast, I still want to say that may the souls of the departed Plateau State people who were massacred rest in peace today. As you know, there was a mass burial in Plateau State today, despite the silence of the Nigerian state, despite the silence of a lot of people. They don't want the world to see what is going on in Nigeria. That is how bad black men are. That is how bad people can be. The leadership of these people you call, politicians, how they can be. Such a thing is happening in a country where so many people are being buried. But you can see nobody's talking about it. This is insane. I mean, no one is talking about it. For them, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. For them, it's not important. But this is insane. The whole world is reacting. People are watching. Nigerians are left just to bury their dead, to cry for nothing, no justice, nothing. See, if there is no justice, there will not be peace. If there is no justice, there will not be unity. So unity and peace are product of justice. So if you don't have justice, forget about what people are telling you. All this why that we need peace. Peace is a product of justice. So my hearts are with the families, the Plateau communities. It's so unfortunate. It's so fortunate. All right, that was what happened in Plateau State today. As I said before, may the souls of those people, especially condolences to their family. You see, if you have not lost anybody, if you have not lost a loved ones, you will not understand the pain of losing someone. It's so painful, like the person you have been living with, the person is not sick. You are not expecting that, oh, this person, may pass away. Maybe you are already preparing for his passing. Nothing like that. The only thing you see, just for you to wake up, sleep and wake up, you did not see the person. Come on, the thing is painful. Even as I'm talking to you now, I feel the pain. I don't know personally any relative or people that died. I don't know them, but you see, that sense of belonging, that sense of humanity, if you have it in you, definitely you will feel bad about what is going on. All right. So what is actually going on in Imo State? This morning, the news and shock came that government killed over 7, injured several others in Imo communities. Police blame IPOB and ESN. So the Nigerian police force are saying that the indigenous people of Biafra and the Eastern Security Network are responsible for the terrorist attack in Imo State. And we carried out just a little investigation to unravel who are really the causes of the cause of the insecurity attack today in Imo State that claims more than 7 lives. All our efforts to try to match our investigation with what the police are saying did not avail. We discovered that actually these people are not IPOB. These people are not Eastern Security Network. See, the time is now for people to understand that there are lots of people that are being sponsored to tarnish the image of people, sponsored for the best reason known to them. You understand? Politicians can go to any extent just to make sure that they carry out their agenda. That was about last year, by this time last year, July last year. there were some group of people who were using a hilux with IPOB flag. And at the end, we discovered that it was a politician that bought the hilux for them. Come on, this is insane. A politician bought the hilux for them, they crested IPOB, and they started using it to terrorize. And when they called them, those people were released, but they tarnished the image of IPOB. So a lot of things have been going on. Let us understand deeply what happened today. Just like I said earlier, during the course of this program, you can join us live through the link on the comment section. You can also give us a call through the WhatsApp number over there. I think this is a very important topic, and I would like us to discuss it thoroughly. So let's get it started. As I said before, gunmen kill over 7, injure several others in Imo communities, but the police is not blaming the IPOB and ESN. Now, quickly, let's run through what transpired. At least 7 people have been confirmed dead and several others critically injured following the deadly attack by gunmen on communities in Idato North local government area of Imo State in the early hours of Friday, that is today. The incident occurred in Ndi Ejezie, Omwa Ndaoma, and Ndiakowata Ono, all within Aaron Dizogo. Sorry for the way I'm pronouncing it, okay? Sparking widespread panic among residents. Confirming the attack, the police public relations officer for Imo State Command DSP Henry Okoye said in a statement that the assailants were suspected to be members of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB and its armed wing, the Eastern Security Network ESN. The Commissioner of Police, the Imo State Command, CP Aboki Danjuma, has strongly condemned the gruesome attack carried out by gunmen suspected to be members of the IPOB and ESN in the early hours of today, 25th July 2025, at Ndi Ejezie, Omo Andoma, and Ndiakwata Ono, all in Arodi Zogo, Idato North local government area, Okoye stated. He described the assault as senseless and noted that it resulted in the deaths of more than 7 individuals and left several others critically injured. According to the police spokesperson, CP Danjuma, they labeled the act as barbaric, inhuman, and unacceptable. The senseless assault, which claimed the lives of over 7 persons, left several others critically injured, was described by the CP as barbaric. In response to the incident, the police said the tactical units have been deployed to the affected areas to track down the perpetrators. So, this is what is actually happening today. But there are a lot of speculations as usual. But the main issue is that the people who carried out the attack, they are neither a member of IPOB or ESN, as they say. We have to say it as it is. They are terrorists. They are terrorists, and they are neither the member of IPOB nor ESN. Now, this is how they confuse people most of the time. If terrorist attack happen, they will tell you herdsmen. Herdsmen don't commit crimes. Terrorists commit crimes. So if someone comes out and starts shooting people on purpose, the identity of those people must be revealed. The problem I have with the security operative is that when the identity of these people, when they capture them tomorrow, if they see that, oh, the identity of the people is contrary to what they have speculated on news media, they will hide the identity. This is the major problem. So most of the crimes that people are committing in the Southeast, if the name sounds Igbo, they will publish it. If it doesn't sound Igbo, they will not publish it. So this is not to defend anybody. You see, if you are committing crime, you will not go unpunished. It is simple as that. If you are committing crime, you will not go unpunished. But it is important for us to set the record straight that those people who are committing crime are terrorists. They are neither the people that the media portray them or the police portray them to be. So this is what is going on today. So we are going to discuss in deep sense of it. And there are a lot of people who are from this Idato, Imo State. that are going to join us as we go on, for them to still discuss and tell us the actual truth, what happened in their own community. So stay with us. We have a lot to discuss today. Indeed, we are living in a crazy world. Mr. Anthony, you can unmute yourself. Good evening. Thanks for joining us in this broadcast. I want you to tell us your own experience about what actually transpired in Imo State today, your own take, and what you think that should follow after this ugly incident. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Tell us where you are joining us from.
Good evening, Okocha, my brother.
All right, you can be audible if you don't mind, and if you don't mind, you can also.
Can you hear me better now?
I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you, but not better
good evening,
anyway.
My brother, I've been trying to come in your program just to say hello to you for a good job that you're doing, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Where are you joining? I wanted to know. I'm joining from Czech Republic, former Czechoslovakia.
All right, how is Czech Republic?
Very, 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 very fine, sir.
The land of gun and ammunition.
I swear, land of technology. You know, every time you're talking about division, I'd always feel you. I understand your point, because I once lived in a country. If like I had appointment in a hospital today. Every nurse and every doctor were from Slovakia, but they are still the same country. It doesn't mean because they're separate, make their country quarrel. No. Now, what people know, they understand. Every time you talk of this division, people go to say you they preach hate or something. No. If we divide, doesn't mean we should be fighting each other. It doesn't mean that I wouldn't live in your place, or if my house be Lagos, say not be my house again or something.
You understand.
But our people not get wisdom. No. Bro, I won't ask you, which part of that are you from? Sorry, Joe.
Do you think it's important?
Your accent, they sound like a car person, and me, I'm from a car, so
Yeah. I'm from a car. I'm going to my side, but later we can talk about it.
No, but it's all good. Okay. It's all good. That's why sometimes I support you with some super chat, and
Thank you so much. Yeah, I do really appreciate it so much. Let's talk about this, sir. This Imo State incident that happened today.
Yes, actually, it's not something new now. That these people will just go and unalive people, and they will say it's ESN. Just imagine how the man just jump into a conclusion that is IPOB
without investigation.
This is so like. Man, it takes a lot of energy to talk about Nigeria. You they try. Like, I'm not going. This country where they live. If we go outside, if you discuss Nigeria, everybody go tell you, say, man, you come off for here, because it takes a lot of energy, and at the end of the day, all of us are still living here. We will not do anything, So I beg my brother, the entire person, entire person. This country would already see. I don't know if anybody wants separation or something, but we don't see. I'm saying that the only solution. It's the only solution, unfortunately. We don't have any other solution, We don't have any other solution. The only solution we have in that country is to separate, because a typical Fulani man doesn't have the same mindset as you, doesn't have the same opinion as you. He will not solve problem the same way you will solve your own problem. So why are we still? You just imagine Czech Republic and Slovakia. They have literally the same language. Nothing is different. Their language, everything about them is the same. But they separate. Because why they separate? People from here say anytime they make this election, now people from this side they win them, something like that. So because of that one, they separate. Just country of 16 million people. Just 16 million people. Huh?
Hmm.
Black man, no one gets sense to no say we no go fit coexist. Okay, back to what is
You understand?
back to
Most of
what
the
you said.
time, I question our intelligence because just like what you said, you see, if you
Yes,
talk about the separation and all those things, a lot of people will continue to think that oh, you are hating, you are committing this, you are committing
yes,
that. Why
yes.
would you talk? You know why these people are upset about when you talk about division? Because this Nigeria is being joined together by fraud, and they are committing fraud. They are looting their oil wells, all those things.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose anything to the detriment of the people. The real people are dying. It doesn't concern them.
Oh, culture, my brother, that's not true. Even there is so many poor people who would even go against you when you talk about division. It's not just only the beneficiaries, you know, of Nigeria. There is so many poor people I know. This Europe, they never go home since they come here. If you talk about Nigeria divide, they go nearly won't fight you. I didn't tell you the truth. In this country where I live, here when I live, I don't tell you for another country.
If Nigeria is so beautiful and so nice, why are they living as slaves in other man's
That's what I
country?
always tell them. That's what I always tell them. We that has a good life here, you don't have a good life. You are supporting one Nigeria. We that have better life than you are not supporting one Nigeria. We that is doing better than you know, we are not
Mm.
supporting it. Then you that has literally nothing, you can't even go home. If I like 3 times, 4 times, anytime I like, I just buy flight ticket, I go. Then you when things they have for,
Mm.
eh? Now you they support one Nigeria. You never go home since you there here 16 years, 17 years, most of them. Huh?
Mm.
I don't know what they worry the sense of black man, my brother. At they work, you don't tell when I want just talk to you small. Even this morning I came in, immediately I came in, you already finished. So I was like, damn. You
Yeah,
don't tell when I want just greet you. They come out, they go work now. I just like say, make I use even if not 2 minutes,
all right.
make I contribute so that we still know ourselves more. So that anytime when I come
That's good.
in your studio or whatever, I no go feel like stranger again.
Thank you so much. I
This
really
one, you're
appreciate
not
that.
even one money when maybe.
That's so. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, I'll come in again. I'll just watch you, but I won't enter work.
All right. I do appreciate, sir.
Dalo, sir, Dalo, tell you, Maker, Dalo.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So as this our guest was saying, you see, when you talk about the solution to the incessant killing, the solution to all this mayhem going on in Nigeria, the solution to stopping all this mass burial every day, right from 2014, we have been seeing something like this. How can we stop it? How can we stop it? Then if you talk now, nobody will understand you. Everybody will just be, claiming as if they know something. When you know nothing, the real people are dying. And that is why I don't wish that, oh, this person should not die again, this person should not die again, because everybody is in the mess. Nigerians are on the death row. If you wake up now, as you wake up now, you don't even know what is going to happen in the next minute. Most of the things that are not prayer points in Ghana are prayer points in Nigeria. Most of the things that are not prayer points in South Africa are prayer points in Nigeria. Most of the things that are not prayer points in Egypt are prayer points in Nigeria. We are not asking ourselves questions. We have to be resolute. When you talk about Nigeria is not a nation, people will still misunderstand you. Anyway, we are coming into that. I want you to take a listen at this lecture from this Reverend Father for you to understand what a nation is and what a country is. And tell me if Nigeria is a nation.
To become mainstream. So, Father, I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to ask you, for the very first time, how do we bring back to the mainstream those who have now been pushed to the fringes, talking about and believing and espousing the belief that Nigeria truly should be one?
We need to begin by resolving a conceptual crisis. What do I mean by a conceptual crisis? Quite often when we speak about Nigeria, we collapse the distinction between country, state, and nation. We tend to think that the three mean the same. We tend to think the three are synonyms. A country is a territory. From the Latin contra terra, the land that lies ahead of you. A country is a territory. It is not necessarily a nation. A nation is an association of peoples. And I use that word in the plural deliberately because of diversity. A nation is an association of peoples who identify their shared core values. And on the basis of their shared core values, they give themselves a constitution which will now establish institutions that make up the state. What we have in Nigeria and in most African countries is a confusion where we think the nation is the state. The nation is reduced to the state. We have a country quite all right by the fact that we live within a territory, even if that territory is not secure, as we all know. But we don't have a nation. We have institutions that make up the state. We collapse the nation into the state. If you look at our constitution, section 2 of the current constitution, and you don't find this in the 1963 constitution, it ascribes sovereignty not to the people but to the state. That is dangerous. That means the state has the last say on any question. That means the state is more powerful than the citizen. That is a recipe for impunity. Because as we all know, the state is the head of state, or the governor, or whoever represents them. Whatever they say, we all have to comply, whether they're right or wrong. So we don't have a democracy in the true sense of the word.
Oh my God.
And until we have that, until we build a nation, we can't even talk of unfinished greatness. And I have to make a critique of the title of Governor Fayemi's book. It presupposes that there is a project that is unfinished. I am saying we have not even started the project.
Oh my God.
And we need to stop deluding ourselves. What are our shared core values? What are the things that bring us together, apart from the super egos? You know, when I had this experience, 2013, I was visiting a place called Do in Plateau State. The Plateau State governor is here. I got to Do the Friday before the Nations Cup final between Nigeria and Burkina Faso. And there was tension everywhere. But on Sunday night, when Nigeria won the game, the final match, the tension dissipated. And most people forget the fact that a young man from southeastern Nigeria received the ball from a young man from Pankshin who had to leave Nigeria because his parents were killed. Victor Moses passed the ball to Sondemba. Sondemba scored the goal. And we didn't even ask about the local government of origin of the scorer of the goal. So what are our shared core values? If you ask the Americans, they talk of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We don't have one. And it is when we begin to identify our shared core values that we begin to build a nation. What we have right now is a state held together at gunpoint. And when the state begins to oppress the citizen, there'll be cries of marginalization, there'll be secessionist and separatist agitation, there'll be insecurity. Now we have set up Nigeria to be a place where the state is more powerful than the citizen, and the state is oppressive. We need to retrace our steps. Quite often, Nigerians ask, which is the way forward? And I say, if you are moving in the wrong direction, you shouldn't be going forward. You should make a U-turn.
Unfortunately, there is no time to make a U-turn, and the people are not willing to make a U-turn. You see, this Reverend Father has given, just in 5 minutes, the lecture that people will continue to study for generations. Because when you are talking to Nigerians, especially most people who don't still understand what is going on, telling them that, come on, this is not a nation. What is a nation? Just by ordinary dictionary meaning of a nation is a large body of people united by a common descent, history, culture, or language, inhabiting a particular country or territory. Now, the question I'm putting forth to you now is, what is uniting Nigeria together? That is the question this Reverend Father is asking. What is actually uniting Nigeria together? Is it a common descent? Is it a common history? Is it a common culture? Is it a common language? Come on, this is not a nation. And this experiment we are doing, we are failing, the nation is going down every day. Let me tell you, God forbid that people will continue to make this mistake for 500 years if they did not realize their mistake. It is so unfortunate, but you see, let's go back to WhatsApp and start receiving WhatsApp calls. So you can get us on WhatsApp and let us discuss this issue happening. Hello. Hello. Yeah, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Your name and where you are calling from?
My name is Tony. I'm calling from Europe.
Which country in Europe, sir?
I'm in Germany.
Okay. Thank you for joining us from Germany. How is Germany, sir?
Thank you. Everything is good.
All right, sir. Do you believe with the Nigerian police force that the incident that happened in Imo State today was carried out by the IPOB and ESN? If not, what is your thought on that? And what is the history of Nigerian police tagging every terrorist attack on IPOB?
You see, unfortunately, the problem we have in Nigeria is that we don't do critical thinking.
Number one.
We don't use our number 6. The killing that happened in Yalwata, was it IPOB that did it?
No.
The killing happened in Jos, was it carried out by IPOB?
No.
All these killings happening in Imo State, is it IPOB?
No.
Nnamdi Kanu is in prison, still in prison today. But killings is going on every day in Nigeria. So what is the essence of keeping Nnamdi Kanu in prison? What have they achieved by that, by keeping him in prison? You see, some of us say that Nigeria is beyond redemption. People don't know why we are saying it. Well, if you want to repair Nigeria, then where will you start? Somebody came and said, grab it, snatch it, and run with it. The policeman that snatched Sowore eyeglass, he was just doing what the president said he should do.
Imagine, the force headquarters, an eyeglass was stolen from person.
The policeman grabbed it, he snatched it, and he ran with it. That was what the president said.
Nigeria is actually a joke. A policeman stole eyeglass from a protester during a protest.
Conservative woman in YouTube, the one that said the police stole his brother's shoe and wristwatch.
Yeah.
People were attacking him, but this thing, we know these things are happening every day. So the country is beyond redemption until people accept it and stop living. In fact, it is delusional for anybody to even attempt to fix Nigeria. Attempting to fix Nigeria means that you don't know the depth of the decay in the society. The people is just living in self-denial. It's delusional because
no, you say no, everybody have different idea. You see, what people are looking for is a place that works. But a lot of people, majority of people, believe that Nigeria is not workable. And I think I'm part of the people who believe that this Nigeria is not repairable. But for those people who still have contrary opinion, I still respect their opinion. and let everyone do what he thinks that he can do. So at the end, if you...
I was listening to this guy that is pushing for Peter for Nigeria, that is pushing for electoral reform. If you do electoral reform, will you also do Yesomike's judicial reform? Because the Supreme Court, as it is constituted today, belongs to Yesomike. We can deceive ourselves all we want. Yesomike, Nigerian Supreme Court is in Yesomike's pocket. Everybody knows it. People don't want to say the truth. So if you do electoral reform, do all this wrong, what will you do to the judiciary? So all these noise people, I mean, Tinubu can decide not to worry himself. He can decide to sleep in Asoro. You go to stand on the queue, vote. The judiciary will make judgment and declare him weak. So what will you do? You understand? So the truth of the matter is that people, we don't like truth. Truth is bitter, but we must see the way truth is. Truth, there are no alternatives to truth. At the end of 2027, Peter will be the reality we done on him. And I've lived in the North for many years. I went to school in the North. I lived most of my life in the North. I schooled in Kaduna. I schooled in Niger State. I moved to Gongola State, former Gongola, Adamawa. I have been to all those places. The average Fulani man, a core Fulani man from the North, a Muslim Fulani, will not allow an infidel. Supposedly, and they believe Christians, we Igbos, we are Christians and we are infidels. That's what they believe. So, an Arna, they call us Arne. An Arne, an infidel, will come and rule over them. Is it possible? If Peter be like, let him open the tap of milk and honey for them, they will not accept him. That is the reality. You understand? And you know this, they are just deceiving him, moving around, Peter. What will Peter do that will be better than what he did?
You never can tell. Maybe he has something better to do. That is why I said, despite majority of people in Nigeria don't even have hope and don't believe Nigeria could work again. But despite that, people that still have contrary opinion, you see, you allow them to do what they believe in. Probably that could work, but for people like us...
I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
You normally listen to Nnamdi Kanu, right?
Yeah, of course.
Is there anything Nnamdi Kanu have said that have not come to pass?
Absolutely no.
So, all these things, I'm just trying to reiterate a particular thing now. Just remember this word I'm going to tell you today. At the end of 2027 election, in reality we done on Peter. Reality we done on him.
But he himself has nothing to worry about though. He's a billionaire. He don't have anything to lose. So I believe that you see, the majority of people actually have lost hope in Nigeria. And I believe that if you ask me what I believe that the least that should happen to Nigeria is to separate both security, power, everything in regional government. That is the least, though. I'm talking about the least that can happen, that can make Nigeria to breathe a little bit. If not, just the peaceful dissolution of this entity. But for anyone who have a contrary opinion, I so much respect their opinion as well. You understand?
Anyway, I believe God is in control. Let us just put our faith in God. Yeah. But what I know that no matter how we try to go around it or spin it or wash people or do anything we want to do, the country is beyond redemption. That is the truth. The country is beyond redemption. Everybody knows it. All these pretense will not help anybody. The country is beyond. Where will you start? Will you start with Alamajiri in the north? Do you know how many million Alamajiri are loitering, moving around in the street in the north? Where will you start? Where will you start? Will you start with unemployed graduates roaming the street everywhere? Where will you start to repair Nigeria?
It's so unfortunate, sir.
We've lost the country already. The country, if you come to this Europe, you see thousands of Nigerians roaming around Europe. Yeah, because the country is not good. That's where everybody ran away. You understand?
Yeah. It's so unfortunate.
You build a house in your own country. Somebody will tell you, go back to where you're coming from, in your own country. So the psyche of Nigerians has been damaged. Understand? People hate themselves so much. Yet you say they should be together. What kind of unity is that? I don't think anything can be done to that country. The country is lost already, honestly.
It's all right. Thank you so much for your
country is lost already. Because you're doing a great job. We appreciate what you're doing. We watch you every day from here.
Thank you so much.
You're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you so much, sir.
Well done.
All right.
Somebody told me about it. He said to me, "Run down the way." He said to me, "Education is a key."
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Thanks for joining.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Your name and where you are calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Republic of Ireland.
Thanks for joining us. How is Ireland?
Okay. Yeah, we are good, bro. We are good. How are you doing?
We are fine. I'm fine over here.
Okay, so I'm going to, be brief, because I had the conversation, and you see, I do not understand. You see the way they hastily called out the IPOB and the ESN. They know by themselves that is nothing like ESN anymore. They are aware. They know that IPOB they are mentioning is an organization right now in absence of Nnamdi is working with them. They knew IPOB have compromised long time ago. They know all these things. But because they are holding Nnamdi, they can never stop using that name IPOB. Because that is the reason. Now, let me ask you, since they have been killing in Jos, have anybody opened their mouth and called for an enhancement? Nobody have ever mentioned that name. The government will be there lamenting and crying like babies. But you see this name, it's like it's forbidden in their mouth. To mention Fulani enhancement, none of them can do it. My brother, if anybody, sometimes I get angry, really angry, because if you even talk to people at home, if you hear their response, they have hope. You'll be spending money, giving them. The people just believe Nigeria is workable. My brother, I don't know how old you are, but I know how old I am. From when I was born to date, 50-something years, my brother, I'm only hearing future generation. This generation never comes. Very soon I will be 70. Very soon I will be 60. This new generation, my brother, is Nigeria. What is wrong with the Nigerians that they can never? I saw what they did in Bangladesh. They are not pleased. They went straight to the even to the let me say so they went there and brought down a government. Why is these people Nigerian? Let me not talk about why is Nigerian youths? Why are they comfortable with this madness? Why nothing is moving them? They kill them at random. They kill them go to Imo State. Now my brother from Imo State. I call my people. They say if any day you wake up in Imo, go and come back. You thank God. You just thank God that you went out, you came back without being kidnapping. They take people at random in Imo State. But my brother, people are still comfortable. You call them, they need this time, you assist, you talk that this time, this is time, you push your Biafra. They support people to go home. We want to let this country divide, let everybody go home. Even the people holding Nigeria, the new Nigeria is not workable, but because it is to their own advantage. Even in abroad here, you see some of our people, they say they went to school, they really went to school. They are graduates, they studied. If you feel the kind of argument they put up with you, even you will not go. You will be wondering, this person really went to school. You will see them arguing how P2B, Nnamdi Kanu from day one. Even someone told P2B now from the first one. All the time we're having, he won it. Then not today they won it and they take it away. This is not a new. After Abiola won it now.
No, actually, that 2023 presidential election, I believe P2B won it.
My brother, not you believe. They have also told us now, even in UK, they have also confirmed that he won reverse. He won it. My brother, we're not. It's when you won. Where is it now? Abiola won. Abiola won. So where is Abiola today? Instead of people to beat them, all these people to say, come to Iran, say, this country, let us separate it. Make they take their hand, do like magic, say, give us like 2 years. Let's see how this thing will go. These people there on your own, these people there your own, just the way we have in British.
Yeah.
Look at Scotland. They play against England. Look at the world. Where's here? They have their own flag, they have their own national anthem, they play football against UK.
Yeah.
Sometimes they kick UK out of World Cup. So look at Ireland. They have their own, but it is called United Kingdom. They have their own military. Their languages, they speak Welsh, English speak English. My brother, why is it that they have bent on destroying? Do you know how many people this name called Nigeria have determined this thing called Nigeria have done to people? Mothers have lost their children. Fulani can wake up any day, they will raise look at what was going on in Ogoni land. They said no, enough is enough. The man is telling them because the CP went on holidays. If he was here, these people are telling them we have not started to defend ourselves. We don't need you anymore. Look at the policeman, the army commander in Jos. In presence of people, they are telling him the way these people you knew they were coming, you were told, and he was in the midst of a crowd. Even the Reverend Father, they are telling him, this is what you did. You never did not. In his presence, my brother, at the end of the day, what happened? Nothing. If Nigerians don't wake up, I think your name is Okocha. One day you become Bala Muhammad. if Nigerians don't wake up, my brother, let me conclude and tell you the history of conquest. Now, in Afghanistan, look at the way these people they conquer. They start from the villages. They take over the villages. They give them loans. They collect tax from their hands. They make them feel okay. When they take over this village, they start from another village. When they massacre, they kill you with terror and fear. The people that are remaining, they give you the loan to trade. When they finish with you, the day they will enter town, my brother, it happened in Afghanistan. After how many years? And they even drove America away from the villages. The American ended in time. The day they pulled out, America have to go home. That is the history. That is why you see them. They forcefully, they go to the villages, they go to the bushes. You are telling them, what are you doing in our bush? They open it up, they put their own this in there. They begin to threaten people, they cause fear in people. People begin to run. This is the system, and if Nigeria, I'm not talking about it, I mean Southeast Sana, the whole Eastern region, if they don't wake up, if anybody is waiting for Asari document, now let me tell you, Asari will be comfortable with Islamic State. Asari document that have told the whole world that him Asari was helping Tinubu and Buhari to kill people. He said he mentioned names of community where you go and see scores of dead bodies. He was proud. He said they should count. He called it here. He called the whole of our region the carnage he did. He said they should go and take scores. Everybody is loaded. Even the kid they carry. This Osari Dokubo said it openly. He said at the end, Tinubu betrayed him. My brother, today, Osari Dokubo is there. So what does that tell you? This is pure conquest. Because Asari Dokubo will be comfortable with Islamic State. When my father died, let me conclude. I went to bury my dad. The people where I went to buy cow, then, my brother, they are speaking Sowore dialect more than Sowore people. And I begin to ask this guy, why come you speak Sowore this way? They said they went to school even my in-law who took me to, they are all his schoolmates. That is why when they cause havoc, they ask you, you ask them, they say they are from Sowore. They say they are from Imo State. They say they are from Delta. Because they will stay and speak your language and they go to school so that when they cause harm, they tell you, when they are caught, they say they are IPOB. And when they go put them inside, as soon as they identify them as Fulani, my brother, they are leaving them that same night.
That is right.
In
most of the cases.
What is going on? So Nigerians will just sit down like this and watch this vultures to destroy them. I met Gowon. I don't know how to put his nephew or cousin. I met one of his cousins in a nightclub one day. He's a student here in Ireland. And he asked me, where do I come from? I said, I'm a Biafran. Hi! This boy shouted. He said, Biafra. I said, yes. Do you know about Biafra? He said, yes. That his uncle have told him about it. I said, who is your uncle? He said, Yakubu Gowon. I said, what did he tell you about Biafra? He told me that he said he was sorry for what he did. I said, what did he tell you he did? He said he went to war that he killed the Igbos, he killed Biafra. And but he told that little boy that he has apologized. And I'm telling the boy is asking me, have we forgiven him? I asked this boy, you that is asking me this question, if somebody come this way and kill your parents, kill your sister, or murder your people, you have to begin to give him history of how they come to the Delta State, people come to welcome them, they slaughter. I asked the boy, if you were me, will you forgive Gowon? My brother, after that boy never visited that club again because I was doing some job there. He dead. I told him that your uncle is a lie to you. Your uncle is deceiving you because he murdered people and he's not apologetic of what he did. So my brother, I want to thank you because I have always watched you several times, even before I clicked on your program, I subscribe. I watch people before I begin to watch them, I begin to follow them. Because somebody, we are not kids anymore. Our parents told us what happened in Biafra. They told us, they sat us down and tell us what happened. So it is in our memory. We lost loved ones. So we cannot come here. That's why I don't listen to him. I select people I listen to. Since I've been watching, you see, if Nigeria did not separate, my brother, let me tell you, a time will come. People will be asking for separation. You know, will come. So thank you so much, my brother. I am happy to be part of this program. I have saved your number, and anytime you're online, we come here, we will have to discuss what concerns us. What we need is Biafra. We are not apologetic to anyone. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it. Asari Dokubo, Special Forces, he has this sword till today, and he's proud of it. Look, come and see havoc they're causing in Imo State. Watch their jets in special squad. See havoc they're causing in the entire eastern region. Owned by Asari Dokubo, owned, personally owned, sophisticated, armed. But you see, most times they never find it easy in Biafra land, because also people who are waiting for them are also sophisticated like them. People who they are living in Asari Dokubo are eating ofe egusi, eating jollof or jollof fry. But men who are in the bush for years, they want to come and they want to go home. You come and talk with them, you can never find it easy.
It's all right, sir.
So my brother, I think I made my point, but the thing is, if Biafra we seek and Biafra we get, whether anybody likes it, whether you don't like it, whether you have heard about Biafra, there is no Irish man you ask anything about Biafra. They will be the person to tell the history of Biafra.
It's all right, sir. You know, self-determination is everyone's right.
Of course.
All right.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Let's have another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for joining us, sir. Your name and where you are calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from the United Kingdom.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Okay, please, my brother, I just joined now, and then I just read your caption, and it's quite alarming. You know, each time I hear these things, my heart bleeds sincerely. But there's something, number one thing I think we should do, because our people say that. No evil. As you know, meaning that it is the rat in the house that call the one outside, that tell the one outside that there is meat in the house. So I think we should now start looking for solutions, not to be complaining sincerely every day. Number one, I think that our leaders, they are not doing what they are supposed to do, and we need to find a way to hold them accountable. We need to sensitize our people. Let them start dealing with our political, our politicians, our Igbo politicians.
How are they going to deal with them?
Okay. If only we can cut our appetites, that's number one.
What do you mean by cutting of appetite?
You know, because of longer throat, because of money, some people will share their brethren. If only we can stand on them on one side and speak with one voice, indicate that if these people bring their money, we tell them no, so that they will know that this thing has gone beyond, you know, the usual politicking that they do. That they will come and give people money and then they will just have their way and do whatever thing they like. I think we should start making strong statements.
All right. What about a strong media like? What about strong media like television stations, like the ones you have in Nigeria? Don't you think that one is needed in the southeastern part of the country to be able to be covering what is actually going on? A lot of lies. I'm talking about, you see, media. For you to sensitize people, for you to talk to people, you need a powerful media house that will be capable of, doing investigation, going to so many places. So I think it's very important, it's crucial. When you look at the whole southeastern part of the country, there is no, powerful TV station, and it's not good. Are you there?
Yes, I'm with you, but I continue.
Do you hear what I said? Oh, it seems your network is bad, right?
Continue. Yeah, I think so, because
I'll finish what I'm saying. I'm talking about media house that is very important. And when you look at the whole Old Eastern region, there is no media house. When I mean a media house, I'm not talking about social media. So that is what I would also like people to invest on. Invest in media. You can build a television station, all those things. It will go a long way helping the people.
My brother, I think we still need to talk, because I just feel like it's not everything that I have in mind that we can discuss,
All right, no problem. You can, when you are free, you can chat me up or give me a call.
Okay, no problem.
All right, have a wonderful evening.
Somebody